So what I've done is I've put a mark right there, and that's about as high as my eyeball is, and it gives me just under 42 inches. So I've cut a couple of pieces of plywood for the sides, and that's the depth of 22 inches. Depth of 22 inches by 42 inches long, and I put a rabbet in there to hold the back and the sides. So obviously this one's upside down here. So there's the back and the sides. And just construction wood, not the flattest stuff in the world. Now, confession time, I did have a piece of 5/8 plywood that I wanted to use for these two pieces. And I threw it on the table saw and cut it to my 22 inches and realized I cut it the wrong way, and now I got just two smaller pieces of 5/8 plywood. So we're going to have to hope the carcass goes with 1/2 inch. So yeah, I've got a rabbet in there for the bottom. Rabbet in there for the bottom to go in there, and for the back to go in here. And that'll be the side cases. A couple of pieces of maple that I'm starting to mill up, and those will be the runners for the drawer. So hopefully I can get enough runners out of this. This was just kind of left over at a sawmill when I bought the slabs for the coffee table. I threw them in there because they're, well, you can see the warp in it right there. And they're all warped and twisted and everything, but I think for runners they're just going to be fantastic. We got to start laying out the drawers. And no plans or anything, I'm just kind of winging this, so I'll show you how we're going to do that next. But right now, it's a little cool out here. Winter has returned. It's the end of January. Haven't been in the shop for quite a while, so river's freezing over again, and my battery light is flashing. So we'll charge the battery and recharge myself, and we're going to pick away at this a little bit at a time. Oh, here we go. This is the bottom, one of the side pieces, the left side piece. Now, I got to admit that making drawers makes me nervous, and lack of experience probably, but we're going to try to just figure this out. So, I've got a 1/2 inch piece going in here, and I'm going to have all my drawers sliding on rails. So in order to keep the rails nice and straight, I'm going to cut pieces of maple, and I'm going to put them all into dados. So I'm going to cut a whole series of dados on here for the rails, and the drawers will fit between the rails. So my first drawer, actually my first two drawers, let me just back this up here so now I'm making it out of 1/2 inch plywood. So I gotta keep that in mind. And my first drawer I want to be 4 inches deep. So the top of the drawer will be at 4.5. And then there's a 1/2 inch. Let's make the bottom drawer a little bit deeper, just to keep it on the inch mark. we'll make it 4.5 inches deeper. So there is my first dado. Let's see if I can make that darker. So one there and one there. And I want a dado there. So the next one I want 4 inches deep, which brings me to 9. And if I come back 1/2 inch, that's my dado. Is that right? 1/2 inch for the bottom. See, I've screwed up already here. So when I get to the top, which is right here at 39.5, I got 1/2 inch for the bottom, and then I got a 1 inch little drawer. And not very useful, I don't think. So I think what I'm going to do is come over back to the beginning and start again. Okay, I think I've got it. I'll clamp the two pieces together and transferred the marks across the edge. And the reason being is because eventually when I'm cutting my dados, I'm going to have to put, the first part I'll have to put the bottom against the fence, and then I'll have to switch it around and put the top against the fence. So I need both sides marked so I can see the marks. And what I've ended up with here is a 4.5, a 4, a 3.5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 2-inch drawers. So to me that sounds like a 14-drawer chest. Now the other issue we got to contend with is we want to put, well, I want to put 1/4 inch dados in there, and I want them to be accurate. But as you can see, my 1/2 inch plywood, it's got a little bit of wonk in there. So we've got to straighten that out a little bit. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that next. Maybe one more screw, but a jointed piece of wood should keep it nice and flat and put the screws where the blade ain't going to be. So there we go. Jointed face, screwed down with 3 screws, and it'll give me a push stick too. Now my dado set is already set. So now we can set up and start cutting dados. So, with my dado stack set to the top line and the bottom against the fence, you should be able to put a dado in this and copy it exactly on the other side. Tape against the fence. Me. And I am right on the line. Right on the money. So we'll just continue that all the way down. Or all the way up, I guess, since we're starting at the bottom. Well, we're halfway there, so we take the other one and flip it around. Now I got the marks where I can see them. And we'll start coming backwards. And before my battery dies completely, we've got a whole bunch of nicely matched dados. And that's going to hold our drawer slides. Going to be lots of drawers. Now we've got to mill up some maple for those runners. And these are 1/4 inch deep, these dados. So I'm going to make 3/4 inch by whatever that width is, 1/2 inch strips of maple. So they each stick out 1/2 inch, which is the nominal thickness of the plywood. So each side will lay right on the runner. But right now I'm going to clean up and go inside and warm up because I'm freezing.